Hey everyone! The babies are taking a nap and I decided to, I was gonna take a nap. But I decided to make a video. A live video. Anyways, it's super windy over here. I'm at 50% my battery, so I hope this doesn't shut off on me. My phone doesn't shut off on me and die. Hello, Lynn. How are you doing, soul sister? Why am I always freaking hot when I go live? Weird. Okay, guys. I wanted to talk to you guys about a very important subject. Very important for you to be aware of if you want to master yourself, if you really want to attain self-mastery and self-cultivation and really understand who you are and be able to discern yourself from other people's ideas, belief systems, society, indoctrination, programming, whatever it is outside of you that has already infiltrated your consciousness, because we all have been infiltrated, okay? Some people more than others, some people more than others, like I said. But there's a level of indoctrination and belief systems that are not pure, and they're not for our evolution, okay? So today we're going to be talking about let me see, absorbing other people's energies. I love this subject. Passed down trauma, pain from other people, especially siblings. If you had sisters or brothers, a lot of what they went through, they picked up on. It could be passed on to you. And there's always a consent, okay, guys? So we're going to be talking about voiding contracts and agreements that we've made, because we all have made them. So it's not something that, only a few people make. No. Most of us have made those agreements. And you might ask, like, why? Why do we make these agreements with people, right? Well, when we were born, we come whole and we're very complete, and our aura is very much shielded, right? There's no holes within our auric field, and we don't feel like we need to extend ourselves. We don't need, like, we feel to have validation from other people. But a lot of us go through trauma, and we go through experiences that start to open up our field. Does that make sense? So what happens is that our auric field starts to open up these holes, right, that are scattered all over our energetic field. And depending on why or what you went through, from that underlying energy of what you went through, you're going to make certain agreements or connections, trauma bonding with different types of people that reflect back to you, even if we don't want to, you know what I mean? So we're not like out there, like we're not out there attracting people from a conscious place. Obviously we are, because we're conscious of our energy, right? We are enlightening ourselves with the truth of our existence, our multidimensional existence, right? And everything to do with energy and frequency, right? So we're understanding that part of our existence and the energy exchange, right, that there is. So when we start to have these holes within our aura, this is where we start to feel incomplete. Why? Because we're disconnecting ourselves from that pure essence, right? We start to actually make choices that reflect powerless, that reflect lack of. Why? Because of these experiences. You know, we are little babies, we don't have a lot of control. That's why we do depend on the feminine and masculine energy of the father and the mother, the alpha and the omega. And a lot of the people that are, you know, have been stuck here for a very long time, obviously they don't have the most purest representation of the alpha and the omega, the complete pure essence of Almighty Creator Source, right? So they're distorted. So they fall, right? It's like the fall from Eden, right? We all fall from the Eden, right? In one form or another. So when we experience these traumas and our parents are not nourishing us, they are not motivating that part of our being that at that time when we're children, we know we are, right? We know we are. I don't know about you, but I know how I felt when I was a little girl. I know I was. I didn't need to do X, Y, and Z to feel that I was. I was already complete. I was already feeling whole. I was already feeling rich. I was already feeling abundant. I was already in my wonderment. I was already in my magic. I was already like excited about life and playing, and everything was beautiful and everything was exciting, and I wanted to get to know things, right? But slowly but surely, what happens, we start to get imprinted on. But the reason why we, like you would say, like why, is because there's a consent. I know. There is a level of consent and agreement, and this is why I want to talk to you guys about this, because it's very necessary. Like the Soul Council's talking to me about you guys voiding. They're right here. I can feel the Soul Council right now. Actually, there's only one, right? Do you feel that? Just one?
Yeah, well, I'm actually agreeing.
Really? Okay, so they keep bringing this topic and subject and awareness about us claiming our sovereignty, because that's the only way that we can actually beat the dark about. Because I what's gonna happen? Are we going to be victorious? You know, there's a lot of stuff outside of us that is pointing to us not really being able to, how do you say, not conquer. It's more of like making a change, a real change on this planet, because there's millions and billions of us here. So let's get back to why this happens. Where does the agreement start? So both of our parents are our first love, okay? Those, your parent, your mom, and your dad are gonna be your first love, okay? So I wanna give you the basics of how this works so that you can actually start to heal, but most importantly, start to really cut energetic cords, call back your energy, claim yourself again, and void contracts and agreements that you made out of those pain pockets, out of your pain body. Everybody has pain body, okay? You know, no one's better than anyone. No one's slower than anyone. We all been there, done that. If you haven't done those things, you know, that you point other people to be, you probably done them in another lifetime. Because you've been every freaking race that you can think of. I don't know if you guys remember your own past lifetimes, but I know I do. I've been in China before. I've been in Rome. I've been a black person. I've been Indian. I've been all of it, pretty much. So, okay, so let's get back to our first love. Your mom and your dad are your first love. This is why a lot of people feel like they don't have love, because their first love, they felt betrayed. This is why we have that betrayal template, like that we need to really heal. And we need to go back to where that started. Like, who was your first love? Your first love is not your first boyfriend, okay? No. Your first love is going to be your dad and your mom. And depending on that interaction, whether it was nourished, whether it was a conscious, or unconscious exchange of that love, it's going to start to define the way that you exist in that love. I'm so glad you're talking about this. Me too, sweetie. So it's going to teach you about love, and you're going to start to have this false perception in limited Let me repeat that again. So it's going to, depending on how you received love in your childhood, you're going to have that perception or that limitation or that lack of, depending on how you received it at home. And this is why we need to heal our inner child. This is why I keep singing. I'm a pioneer for inner child healing before anything. Before even healing my past lifetimes, I first started to heal my inner child. Then I went to move to my past lifetime. And then you have to heal your teenage consciousness. And then you have to heal the things that happen in your adult life. So there's a lot of alchemizing of our pain body to do. And this is why it doesn't happen from one day to another, but you were born for this. You have what it takes. And if you don't have it at that moment, you have people that can guide you, that can help you. You are not alone, okay? So depending on that love that you received or didn't receive, you're going to start to have that. It's distorted, right? It's not based on truth. It's based on what your parents fed you, what your parents gave you. And so this is why we do need to evolve into love, but first understand what happened in order for us to be able to acknowledge and alchemize and nourish those parts of ourselves and be able to transmit the code of divinity within love. Because a lot of times we don't know what really love is because no one ever gave us, that high frequency of pure love. It's very rare that was something that people were giving. I think that a lot of times we've been limited because we've been unconscious and oppressed and suppressed about who we are as galactic beings. Okay, so that's the reason why after that relationship with your father and your mother, you started to get disappointed, right? We started to feel disappointed, like, you know what, there's no love here. This is what love is, right? So we take that idea and that energy and that way of being with other people, even though we're doing it in a conscious way. And a lot of times I feel like starseeds in general, they start to get very resentful because inside their core, they know that this is not love. Okay? So we start to get very resentful. And so when we have these holes within our aura that allow other people to penetrate our energetic field, we start to absorb other people's energies without even knowing that. For a long time, I was there for a long time. You think you're doing it for the right reasons. You think that you are being super sympathetic or empathic, or that you are helping people. And though you might have the best, how do you say interest? Not interest, the best intention. We have to look at the underlying energy of why you do what you do, right? So this is why I said you have to cancel and void any agreements that you've done through doing it from that place, from that underlying energy of fear, of lack, of people pleasing, of not feeling validated. That's why healing is so important, right? Because you start all over. You start all over again, where you get to know who you are, not who your parents taught you to be. Okay, because even when we're old, we're adults, we still take on a lot of our parents' pain. It's passed on through generation, from generation to generation, right? This is what they call it, a curse. I don't know about you guys, but in my family, my mom calls it a generational curse that is passed on. It's just pain body. And the reason that's passed on is because no one is able to heal. No one's able to alchemize that pain body. So it's passed on to, hey, I hope that you can heal this, you know, because if you don't, then you're going to pass it on to your children. And so it takes a long time for us to get to that point, because at that time where our parents were going through their own trauma, there was not a lot of light that was being integrated on this planet. Okay, from what I know, from what the information that the Soul Council gave me, the light has been getting stronger for the past 20 years, but before then, the light was not as strong and as anchored as it is now. And that's why there is so much information, so much, you know, out there to help you develop, to help you become emotionally independent, to help you become healthy in your emotions so that you can be able to give that to your children. Because when we do ascend and we finish and we are done with our calling and our mission, we can actually how do you say give to the next generation, or the new star seeds that are here. They're gonna once they're gonna inherit the planet, they're gonna inherit everything that we've done, all the work that we put into, like they're gonna inherit all of that, heaven on earth, the new earth frequency. Because a lot of us, when we've been here for a very long time, like thousands of years, if you freaking feel old as, I'm not gonna say the word, but if you feel super old and you're like, I'm an old soul, and you feel tired, old souls feel tired. Okay, they've been through a lot in every lifetime. There's always that other side of the spectrum of energy of light, that distorted frequency of energy, that wants to always attack that specific starseed blueprint. And there's those starseeds, they get attacked from the moment they're born. Yes, a lot of them get attacked from the moment they're born, from the moment they're in the freaking womb, okay? Believe me, guys, I've done inner child healings. I've navigated people's subconscious mind, and I've seen literally little babies in the womb already freaking experiencing trauma. And you would ask, like, how is that possible? Well, because we don't understand our multidimensional existence. We always limit the experience of a baby in the womb because we think, oh, they don't feel, they don't hear, but they do. And the only reason that I found out was because through all the inner child healings that I've done, when I would visit that part of them, they would give me back that information, right? So I learned. The little baby experienced trauma because the parents were violent with each other. There was domestic abuse. And I remember telling her, like, she already experienced trauma in the womb, and she started crying. She used to have anxiety out of nowhere, and she would always, like, she would ask herself, like, why do I always have anxiety? It's because from the moment she was in the womb, she was already experiencing trauma. So it's very important for us to be able to go back to those experiences in order to give that part of your being all the love, all the affection, all the peace, the nourishment that it needs in order to come back into that pure state of awareness. Does that make sense? And this is why a lot of people have PTSD. But I don't want to get into that. I'll get into PTSD in another video. Okay, so energetic imprinting. So then siblings, they imprint on your energy, and this is why a lot of empathic people, they feel drained, or they feel, or you might be feeling emotions that are not even yours, fears that are not even yours, pain that is not even yours. It's not even your pain. And if you were the sibling within the family unit that would always uh,
Right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that overextended, or you always wanted to help your siblings and you were always like, helping and, being attentive. And though I'm not saying that it's wrong, but again, when we're doing it out of like just want to save everybody, right? We want to save everybody because we already have that blueprint. Obviously, we're star seeds, and we are here to help shift this planet's frequency and raise the vibration of this planet. So when we're like constantly opening ourselves to other people, constantly, guess what that happens is like there is a energetic imprinting that happens on our energy, and we start to get influenced by their thoughts or the way they think, personality traits that are not even ours. We've been imprinting. And this can happen, guys, not only with people. I don't know about you guys, but this can happen with anything you watch. Energetic imprinting is so freaking real. And the more that you understand this, the more that you can master your energy, because we're not here to master other people, right? We're not here to control the world, right? We're here to master ourselves and to become that example of mastery for others and teach from that place, because people want to learn. We all want to learn how to maintain ourselves, our energy, our light. You know what I mean? Like deep within our being, nobody wants to be a leech. Nobody wants to vamp on you. Nobody really wants to do harm. Nobody wants to do things because they don't love themselves. Nobody really wants to do those things. But everybody has done them. I have. Okay, so it's important for us to get to know all the rules of the game, if that's what you want to call it. Like, we got to know all these different things that can take and have been taking our energy in some way, shape, or form, have been imprinting on us. Are we really being ourselves, or are we being the idea of someone else? Are we being manipulated by fear? Are we, you know what I mean? So we need to be get as much knowledge and information and input that in our consciousness so that we can start to be more hands-on and be conscious and aware of where we're giving our power away, and most importantly, to start cutting these cords with people. Okay, and this is not indicated any way, shape, or form you cutting cords, you voiding contracts and agreements. It does not in any way indicate that you're not a loving person. Okay, you are. Okay, passed down fear and trauma, I already said that. That is not yours. Entry point. So if you guys have any questions about what I'm talking about, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer your question. Okay, so entry point, due to holes in our aura or psyche caused by trauma. So that's the only reason why we do have these open holes within our energetic field, is because we have suffered trauma, we suffered pain, and then there's that automatic agreement. Okay. So then where do we start to create these really kind of weird relationships with people that are, taking advantage of us, or we experience betrayal, or we experience not so good energy from other people? Like, why do we say yes to these types of relationships? Oh, I love you, Bridget. Thank you so much. Thank you. So you would ask yourself, like, why do we say yes to these relationships that take advantage of us, or that show us no love or no appreciation? And the reason why is because, again, we're talking about pain body. We're talking about the underlying energy within our psyche, within our subconscious mind, belief system, programs, right? That we've picked up on, right? That we've been programmed with, indoctrinated. So then we have that similar energy. Like, if you've attracted a perpetrator or someone that has abused you, you have a similar frequency to that perpetrator's energy. And I'm going to say why. I'm not trying to victim blame anyone, but this is about mastering ourselves, right? And we cannot become masters if we're not taking accountability, if we're not conscious, if we're not honest about what we're doing, right? Or what we're attracting. So this is about self-mastery, right? We want to master ourselves here. So we have a similar energy to the people that hurt us, okay? Frequency is frequency, energy is energy, right? It doesn't really have like detailed information. It's the energy of what that is. So basically, the perpetrator, the one that is a narcissist, is, and if you've never been a narcissist, if you've never been in the shoes of a narcissist, you can only perceive the narcissist from your state of being, from your experience. But if you've never really been a narcissist, you can't really give a deep understanding or explanation of why the narcissist does what he does or what she does, right? And I have been a narcissist, so I do have actual real acquired knowledge because I was there, right? And I've shifted myself. So I'm going to be talking about the victim and the perpetrator. The perpetrator has, I've been a victim and I've been a perpetrator. Okay? So the perpetrator is acting out of what do you think? Because people would be like, oh, the narcissist is just mean and they're so heartless and they're so distorted, and you know, there's all the demonizing of the narcissist, okay? And so we need to understand why the narcissist does what it does. The reason why is because there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain and suffering within the narcissist, okay? The narcissist is a human being that has endured a lot of trauma. And they don't know. They've never learned how to express that pain in a healthy way. They don't know how to express, I'm fucking hurting. Can you please listen to me? I am hurting. Can you please give me a hug? They don't know. So when they're hurting, they go, punch, right? They exert that freaking aggressive energy because they don't want to look weak. It's all ego. All right. Okay. So fear and pain. So there you go. Right. We have those two components, like why narcissists, why perpetrators do this. Okay. Fear and pain, fear and pain, fear and pain. Okay. So then why does a victim allow a perpetrator to do what they do to them? What is the underlying energy of the victim? They have inner wounds. Exactly, Bridget. They do. So the victim is responding from where? Pain and fear. Lack, right? Lack of what? Lack of love, lack of sovereignty, lack of self-cultivation. Because when a person really, really loves themselves, they'll experience someone being an asshole to them or being abusive, and they will leave. Like the second time, like the first time, they'll be like, okay, I'll forgive you this one. You know, maybe you're really sorry. But the second time, I'm out. Why? Because that self-love is good. It's not going to take someone abusing them. Does that make sense? So, baby, do you want to say something? So, and you would ask like, oh, you don't know, you've never been there. Yes, I have. I've been there. I've been both. I've been the victim and I've been the perpetrator. I've been the abusive one towards someone that had a lot of self-love, wouldn't allow himself to let me be the way I was. So he walked away, right? And what did it show me? What did it show me? It showed me about love. True love. True love does not accept someone abusing you, right? So it showed me a lot of things that I couldn't see. If I had not lost that one person the way that I did, I would have never learned something about what love is, what true love is, okay? All right, so let's get into voiding contracts and agreements, right? This is what you call people, you guys, when you hear the call to be a light in this world, just like me. Just because I was lost, I was in a dark place. I mean, I experienced um, uh, the most, for me, painful childhood experiences. Both of my parents were drug addicts, alcoholics. They were there was a lot of violence. So I grew up with that environment. So obviously, naturally, because of what I went through, I didn't get any other type of, you know, how do you say,
nourishment?
not nourishment, just like guidance to be something else. I ended up being like kind of like my parents in the way, narcissistic. Oh my god, it's something in my freaking eye. Whew. Wow, this video is amazing, and I already felt that it was gonna be amazing, guys, because I was freaking getting hot every time that I start to freaking feel hot. I feel like there's so much light coming through my body. Right, baby? And I was like, oh my god, it's freaking, and it's cold. I was literally freezing earlier.
This topic is to the core. It really, it hits home for most human beings, period,
Because of what we all been there in some form or another, or to one extent or another.
Yeah.
It's so sad to witness because they don't even realize they are bleeding upon everyone around them. Exactly. And someone needs to reflect back to them and show them what they're doing from that place. You gotta ground yourself so much in your own self-love in order to help a narcissist change. But if you are coming from a place of lack and fear and desperation and all of those energies, you can't change a narcissist, guys. You can't. I was so freaking, if you already know, obviously I'm a strong light in this world. But can you imagine when I was lost and distorted? I was strong in that too. So it was very, very hard. They had to send the most strongest soulmates into my reality in order to help me. Everybody needs someone to show up in their life to show them what they're doing and who they are. Right? Everybody needs help, and I know I did. And I had so many beautiful, amazing soulmates that came into my life because I was so scared to love. I was so afraid to love. I didn't believe in love. I didn't want to give love. I didn't want to receive love. Every time someone would love me, I would shake. Literally, guys, I'm not fucking lying to you. I would shake out of fear because it would expose parts of my being that were. So I had the most amazing soulmates. You're gonna experience people that come into your life to teach you how to be, how to cultivate self-love, how to be respectful towards yourself, how to have healthy boundaries. If you're a people pleaser, someone's gonna show up in your life that's gonna help you overcome that and heal the underlying energy of why you're overextending yourself or why you're being a people pleaser. Okay, so let's talk about avoiding contracts and agreements. So, gosh, I have something in my eye, guys.
Anything you do?
Void contracts and agreements you made out of people pleasing, fear, and trauma bonding. Why it's necessary for us to void these agreements is so that we can have a clean, new sort of template, right? A new stage in our consciousness where we can create what we want, not what other people want, not what other people need, what we need. The only way that we can change this world is for us to go back to really owning our light and our power and really being the example of self-love. You cannot teach someone else to love themselves if you are lacking that for yourself. Okay? That's what starseeds are here for. We need to teach people how to love themselves through loving ourselves first. Or else you're not going to know how to point to that part of themselves because you've never been there. You got to visit yourself first before trying to visit someone else or trying to help someone else find themselves, because the kingdom of heaven is within, and everybody has the kingdom of heaven. Everybody has the ability to tap into their kingdom of heaven, and we collectively create that place here on earth.
Yeah.
Okay, so contracts and agreement to start clean, to start to create what we want, our reality, what makes us happy, what makes us feel joy, excitement, right? We start to attract people from that place, who you are, not who your mom was. Because when we have made contracts and agreements with our mother out, and yes, at some level, it's necessary. There's a soul contract there, right? But at what dimension or level does it become unhealthy and toxic? At what dimension and level does it become toxic for your being? And at what dimension and level or energy or extension of that contract with your family members does it actually start to hinder you, your light, your expansion, right? So you can't really expand if you have all kinds of people on you, right? That's going to be very hard, right? You can't expand when you have so many people on top of your energy or in your energy that are like siphoning you, and you have all these programs, these limited belief systems, these programs, these things that you watch that are hindering you, that are distorting more than anything. They're distorting that channel, right? So we want to be pure as possible, like a childlike energy. And this is why I'm a pioneer for inner child healing, and I specialize in doing that. I've been doing it for a very long time. But if the thing with inner child healing is like, a lot of people kind of think that being your child or being your inner child is like from the past, but it's not. It's like who you really are in the most purest frequency. So we want to go back there to a clear channeling our own pure divinity, like that goes straight up like this, right? And it makes a rainbow, and then goes again like this, and there's nothing restricting you in any chakras, like center, right? Nothing, right? Because when we have these siphoning energies, they start to create blockages within your energetic centers, and that's why our energy is not flowing, and that's why a lot of people age so fucking quickly. Guys, we're not supposed to be old at 100. Back in the days, in ancient times, people used to fucking live up to like 1,000 or 2,000 years, right?
Yeah.
Like absolutely. Even in the Bible, I don't really read the Bible because I'm not really into it anymore since I awakened. There's literal stories of us surviving for a freaking long time. What happened? Distortion and contraction of our energetic centers. Our chakra system is completely freaking filtered, contracted. You know, we're walking around like we're freaking 90 years old and we're like 40 and shit, you know, because energy's not flowing. It's true. You're like right now, if I want to get up, I'm like, no, because I've been sitting down for a long time and my leg is sleeping. But yeah, and then there's food. There's like the GMO. There's all these the frequencies that they, you know, the distorted frequencies that contract our energy. They don't let our energy flow. We're getting old way too quick. Do you want to know why? And I know I don't want to get into the video about them because it's just for another time. But I'm like, really just you know, everything's just flowing through me right now. The reason why is because there's a lot of, I guess, oppression. And a lot of our food and programming, we're not blessing ourselves. We're not blessing our food. No matter what you drink or you eat, it doesn't matter. Like if it's what the frequency is. You are a freaking co-creator. You can bless anything. But if you're like freaking just sending bad vibes to your freaking food, you're sending bad vibes to everything around you, and that comes back to you. It's cause and effect. What do you believe? Right? So, again, why do we want to void contracts and agreements? To become pure, clear channels. When we become clear channels, then that's going to reverse our aging. We're going to look so much younger. We're probably going to live longer. We're going to be freaking, I want to be known that she freaking transcended the false matrix. You know, I want my kids to be the ones who, how do you say, go beyond what they've been told, because, you know, we're helping them. So it's reclaiming back our sovereignty. It's clearing our center, and clearing our centers with, you know, nasty, yucky energy. It's so necessary, because then we become more clear. Where our energy is flowing, right? We feel energetic. We feel happy. You know, we feel, you know, feel in tune with Mother Earth, and we feel good, right? But we're not, and we have this stagnant energy upon us or in us through different people that we make contracts with, people that we had sex with. Okay, remember what I said, guys. It doesn't happen with siblings. It happens with people you have. So why does this phone, it keeps like freaking like glitching a little bit? Okay, so sexual intercourse, people that you have sexual intercourse, you are exchanging energy with those people. You gotta be very aware of what you are letting in. So, okay, clearing our energy, voiding contracts and agreements with things that we've watched, movies that you watch. Do not watch porn. Okay, I bought this many times on my other Facebook, but if you are new to following me here, porn has very parasitic energy. All right, I stopped watching it when I awakened, because I understood. I downloaded what it was and how it affects you, how it impacts you, how it distorts your energy, and how mostly it actually creates energetic cords in the astral. Okay, so watch what you watch. Watch what you watch. Be cautious. Watch what you watch. Be cautious about what you watch. Okay. Void contracts. With your exes and with people. Do you want to see something?
No, I mean,
okay, so then, do you guys have any questions? I'm not even listening. I'm not even reading the questions. Just my grandbabies have inherited the gifts, but I'm moving slowly, and they need my help. Need a pep in my step. Yes. And guess what? You are getting the help that you need. It's everywhere. When we ask with our heart for guidance, for the soul counsel, for God, whoever, like divine source, that's what I connect with the most. And then I do have the soul counsel to help me. But when we ask with our heart, when we're really asking willingly, like, there is always going to be that help. And it's not always going to be the way you want it to be. So always kind of be aware of that. Sometimes we want things to come to us the way we see them, or the way that we expect them. And sometimes we need a little push, you know, we need someone to be like, you know, because sometimes we're so scared of like jumping into the unknown, or jumping into the pool that's going to expand us, you know, the miracle pool, you know, full of pixie dust. And though we do want to go in there, it is unknown to us. Oh my God.
It's like under your eyelid, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So we need someone to to give us that push. Even though we might not like it in the beginning, it's going to help us to get there because sometimes we can't do it ourselves. We're too freaking scared. Have you ever been scared to go into the gateway of your enemy? You know? Do you want to say something, honey, so I can take care of my eye real quick? My baby's going to talk to you guys a little bit about energy. He's a Reiki master. He's been doing Reiki and he knows about energy since 2008, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to go take care of my eye.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here. Lucas, Lynn, good people. What's going on? So, anyway, since my love introduced me about energy, we can talk about energy. So, Michelle was just saying that it's important for us to do our daily cleansings and clear our energy so we can have awareness of our energy. And it's vital. It's key. We have to be able to pay attention to the fine vibrations of our being so that can lead us to where we do have blockages.
Yes.
And then, we can go to work from there. Once you have awareness of what it is that you are feeling, then, you have some substance to work with as opposed to just kind of living life, getting triggered, throwing your energy and feelings about, whatever you're feeling inside projecting. So, that way, we're living walking examples of beings that are consciously aware about the fine tunings of our own energy and what hard drive we have running or software, whatever you want to call it, because we always have these programs going. But if we're, more internal about the fine tunings of our energy, then you'll be aware when a program is, looking to enter your field.
Or jumping out.
Yeah.
Into
or
somebody
jumping
else.
out. Yeah. Exactly. You don't want to be the unconscious vampire and shit. You don't want to be that one.
Even though I think we all have been
we
that.
do.
We all in some way we're projecting.
Of course.
It's okay. It's about just like you said, coming back and just being aware of what we're doing, how we're doing it, and yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
What do y'all think?
My baby. So yeah, I think that was it. I think I wanted to let me see. I did have some notes here. So do you think that meditation can help people become like for the new star seeds, because we've been doing it for a long time. So meditation for you and obviously for me, meditation will help people become not aware, but like be able to have a point of entry or a reference point where they are still holding on to, right? Holding on.
Yeah. Like I was just saying, having that stillness, having the stillness inside. You can only have that if you actually get a little quiet, because
quiet the mind.
Yeah, I mean, meditation can happen in all things, but it is important to get quiet, and really just go in that feeling, take the spotlight of your consciousness and just kind of like scan yourself,
I feel that people that are always in their mind, and I know I was there a lot. At the beginning, 2008, I couldn't meditate. It was very hard for me to meditate. I could probably meditate only for 2 minutes, and then I would try every day. It was like a constant, it was an effort every day for me, a dedication and effort for me to do it. You have to put the time and effort into mastering yourself. It's not going to come to you. The light codes that are coming in, the light that's coming in, that is being expanded on earth. Even today, I heard, someone asked me about the Soul Council or the Galactic Federation, if they were able to interfere with the world's problems. And I've mentioned this many times on my other Facebook. I know this is the new Facebook, but no, they can't. We have to do the work. Yes, they can assist in some form, and they are assisting. They already had contact with one of the presidents of the United States, and many other people. A lot of the help that they did offer was rejected. So I will go into another video about that so that the Soul Council can be able to relay back to me exactly what happened. But from what I'm getting right now, just tapping in real quick into their collective energy for the Soul Council, is that they did offer help, but it was rejected. So they will go to the leaders. They're not going to go to like us specifically unless we are star seeds and unless we do have that blueprint. And like they said so many times before, and I said this on my other video, not this one, not the last one, but the other one, is that we said that the message that the Soul Council was giving is that they are asking for people that are part of the Soul Council. If you feel that this message resonates with you and you feel like, you know what, I think I'm part of the Soul Council, they're asking for you guys to really do the work that's necessary for you to be in communication with them, because they need so many of our generators. And what I mean by that, or what they mean by that, is that we are always generating a certain frequency or outcome, right? Or a certain reality based on our thoughts, or programming, or like you said, like our... What would you say?
Well, there's a frequency of our consciousness,
yes.
you know.
So we need to, they are asking for us to clear so that we can be able to communicate, because they are asking for that we can be able to receive these necessary codes of transcendence and anchor, like anchoring the new earth, so that we can be able to establish that and seed it in so that it can grow, because there's a lot of people that are not really doing the shadow work that's necessary for them to have this communication and for us to be able to receive that transcendence code, that we can be able to become the antidote of anything that is distorted. Again, what they're saying is that we cannot create change if we don't create change from within ourselves, because we are the co-creator. So, and I said this in that other video too, I know people think that the Soul Council has more power than we do. And yes, in some aspect that they do, because they're very high tech, they're very high how do you say?
Technologically?
Yeah, they're very advanced. That's the word that I want to use. But what they have said to me many times is that we are actually stronger.
Yeah, we're equipped for this.
That's the reason why we have incarnated. And okay, I'm just kind of receiving that right now. I'm like listening to what they're saying, that we have incarnated here, and that a lot of us are part of the Soul Council, and we had to incarnate in body. And I said that on my other Facebook. I keep saying that because I've already mentioned that. I want to, for the people that already heard me say that, I'm not repeating myself. I'm just saying, like, a lot of us are part of the Soul Council. So we have to have to be born in body, because they're in the etheric level, and even though they are higher dimensional beings, they are not as dense as we are. So us being in this physical body gives us an opportunity to actually claim sovereignty and claim our right to be free. Does that make sense? But because, a lot of people do not believe in their freedom, because they are basing their freedom upon what other people tell them, upon what the government says. So they're saying that that's what I'm saying, like, to unplug from mainstream media, unplug from the left and right, unplug from fighting, unplug from separation, unplug from anything that makes you feel powerless, because that is not helping you. Remember who you are. And yes, they do have power. Yes, they're so high advanced, but that's the reason why you're here. They do not violate free will. There's universal laws that they will not violate, because they are pure beings. They cannot interfere with our awakening. That's why we are here, so many of us, and it's such a rapid. I was like telling you, oh my God, the Soul Council just told me about that a lot of people, like, there was 30% of the humanity.
Oh, yeah.
30%, what did I say? 30% of the humanity that were not ready to, it's not that they're not ready to ascend, because everybody from their core actually does want to ascend. They do want to evolve. They don't want to be stuck. But that what they're doing is they're kind of prolonging and taking like little steps to do full disclosure. And I shared that like a long time ago, but they are saying like they do want to do full disclosure, but they also want to minimize the shock that's going to happen within people's consciousness. A lot of people, they are not ready right now to fully be like, oh, here you go, like wake up, it's gonna shock their system.
We like the analogy I would like to use is like, like if so you have your equipment, the rock face, we're climbing, and each time you get that rope up, and a more advanced climber that can know their capacity can go higher on the rock wall and put that anchor there and wrap the rope there, and then that's the way the rest of humanity can roll through, because they have that anchor frequency that we're already solid here and rolling with that higher frequency, so that the next people that are coming along, they're like, okay, all this information is just shocking to my being. I don't know what the heck to do.
Right.
And then that's
it's like shocking a baby. It's like shocking a person that's been so indoctrinated, so infested with very corrupted, how do you say corrupted virus? No, corrupted
virus?
No, like they've been corrupted in their consciousness, and it's very hard for them are gonna intake that that code.
Like they've been compromised.
Yeah. But I feel like that's not what they're saying. They're saying that they are going to do increments where people are going to be intaking, like they're preparing people for full disclosure.
Right.
And also that I know you guys don't want to, but they do want me to say something. Not that you guys don't want to, but you didn't ask me. But they do want to say that the percentage of the people of the cabal of the dark forces is just so small. And they are afraid. Like if you scan the quantum field, if you have that ability, if you scan the quantum field right now, you will know that if the quantum field feels there is so much more light, so much more profound anchored divinity within our world. The abundant code that there is, which is, sorry baby, the abundant codes that have been seeded on earth are so easy to touch right now. Okay, that's why a lot of people can really manifest abundance. And I'm not talking about abundant money wise only. No, I'm talking about abundant in joy in your life, in your happiness. You feel good, right? You feel really good because it's so easily to attain. If you're doing the work, obviously you need to do shadow work. But what they're saying is that the people that are there is just so small. And whatever you're hearing in the mainstream media, that's what I'm saying, to unplug. It's not based on the fact and divine truth of what's really taking place on earth. They are so scared. They don't have power over us. No. And I want to keep saying that because a lot of people are like, I feel hopeless. I feel like, no, like they have lost. I know it might not look like it because they're the fucking biggest actors, guys. The cabal is like the Wizard of Oz, okay? The Wizard of Oz, like, he's like the monster, you know what I mean? Or acts like he's a big monster, and you freaking move the curtain, and it's just like a little monster, you know what I mean? And you're like, what the hell? You were like so small. Anyways, so that's what it is. It's just a false reflection. Or is that what it is?
Yeah.
Or false projection.
Reflection. Yeah, projection. Better.
A false projection, and that's what they use TV to program you and indoctrinate you, make you feel fearful. So don't watch any movies that are gonna lower your frequency. Get rid of them. I don't watch anything scary. I don't watch nothing sexually distorted. Nothing that's going to enter my consciousness in any way, create energetic cords. Always be cautious about what you watch. If you really, really want to clear your energy, you need to start being very strict in a way that your vessel is sacred, guys. Okay, this vessel you have is very intelligent and also can generate whatever it is that you're feeding into it. That's why I'm saying, like, bless your food, you know, sprinkle pixie dust on your food, on your water, on your coffee, whatever it is that you're doing. Sprinkle fucking pixie dust everywhere you go. You know, become the light of this world and raise the frequency of things that you think that are low. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope this video helped you. I'll be having more videos coming to you, and I'll be talking with the Soul Council more, that you guys can ask questions to the Soul Council that we work with. And but yeah, I'm excited to have so many of you. Just, my baby wants to say hi. He just woke up. This is Orion. Orion, we named him, wanted to be named Orion. Anyways, I love you guys so very much. Have a beautiful week, and I will keep in touch with you guys on my post. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.